You're watching True Crime Archives, real mysteries in just minutes. Let's dive into the case.
Throughout history, mysterious, unidentified bodies have baffled investigators and haunted the imagination of the public. These are not just unsolved crimes, they are unsolved lives. Who were these people, and why did their deaths leave behind more questions than answers? In today's video, we'll uncover the top 5 strangest unidentified bodies ever discovered. Each case is a haunting puzzle that, even decades later, refuses to be solved. Let's begin our journey into the unknown, starting with number 5, the Lady of the Dunes. In July 1974, on the beaches of Provincetown, Massachusetts, a young woman's body was discovered lying face down in the dunes. Her hands had been removed, her head nearly severed, and her teeth pulled out. Whoever killed her wanted to make sure she could never be identified. She became known only as the Lady of the Dunes. For decades, investigators struggled with dead ends and unanswered questions. Some even speculated she had appeared as an extra in the movie Jaws, filmed nearby during that same summer. For nearly 50 years, her true name was a mystery. She remained a faceless victim, frozen in time. In 2022, DNA testing finally revealed her identity, Ruth Marie Terry. Her name was returned to her after decades of silence. But the deeper questions remain. Why was she murdered so brutally, and who wanted her erased from history? The Lady of the Dunes reminds us that sometimes, even when a name is discovered, the story remains unfinished. In February 1957, a small cardboard box was discovered in the woods outside Philadelphia. Inside was the body of a young boy, wrapped in a thin blanket. He was malnourished, bruised, and heartbreakingly alone. No family ever came forward. Police reconstructed his face, printed flyers, and broadcast his image, but no one recognized him. For decades, he was known only as America's unknown child, a nameless boy who seemed to belong to no one. Theories swirled. Some believed he was the victim of illegal adoption. Others thought he had been trafficked or cruelly abused. Despite national coverage, the case remained cold. Each lead only deepened the heartbreak. In 2022, DNA testing revealed his name at last, Joseph Augustus Zarelli, a child who had been hidden from history. Yet, even with his name restored, the mystery remains. Who killed Joseph, and why was he abandoned in the woods? During the 1930s, Cleveland, Ohio was haunted by a series of gruesome killings. At least a dozen victims were brutally dismembered by an unknown killer known as the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run. Some bodies were found in vacant lots, others dumped into the Cuyahoga River. Many were missing their heads entirely. The press called them the Cleveland Torso Murders. The city lived in fear, waiting for the next discovery. Elliot Ness, the legendary lawman famous for taking down Al Capone, took charge of the case, but even he failed to stop the killer. To this day, several of the victims remain unidentified. Their names and their stories were lost forever. The Cleveland Torso Murders left behind both faceless victims and a faceless killer, a nightmare carved into the city's history. In November 1970, hikers in Norway's Isdalen Valley discovered a burned body hidden among the rocks. Her belongings had their labels removed, and the serial numbers on her items were filed off. Her identity had been carefully erased. In her luggage, police found strange notes, apparently tracking flights, trains, and movements across the continent. Rumors spread that she was a Cold War spy. Norway was surrounded by NATO bases and secret operations, fueling speculation. The autopsy revealed large doses of sleeping pills, but whether her death was suicide or murder has never been determined. Her fingerprints had been sanded off, making identification almost impossible. Even international investigations failed to find her true name. Today, she is remembered only as the Isdal woman. Her gravestone carries no identity, just the word unknown. Her story is a chilling reminder that some lives are erased on purpose, leaving behind only shadows and speculation. In December 1948, on Somerton Beach, Australia, the body of a man was discovered slumped against a seawall. He was dressed in a neat suit, his shoes polished, and a half-smoked cigarette rested on his collar. He carried no wallet, no ID, and every tag had been cut from his clothing. His identity was completely erased. In his pocket was a tiny scrap of paper with just 2 words, Tamam Shud. In Persian, it meant, "It is finished." The paper was traced to a rare book of Persian poetry. In the book, investigators found a handwritten code that has never been fully solved. Speculation exploded. Was the Somerton man a spy, a poisoned lover, or a victim of something larger than we will ever know? Experts in cryptography, medicine, and intelligence all examined the case, but the mystery only grew deeper. For decades, his gravestone read, "Known only to God." He became Australia's most famous unidentified person. In 2022, modern DNA finally gave him a name, Carl Webb, an electrical engineer from Melbourne. But even with his name revealed, the mystery remains. Why was he in Adelaide? What did the code mean? Who wanted him erased? The Somerton man is more than an unsolved crime. He is an unsolved life, one that still fascinates the world. These were 5 of the strangest unidentified bodies ever discovered. Each one leaves behind haunting questions that refuse to be answered. Even when names are uncovered, the full truth often remains hidden, lost in silence and time. Which of these cases do you find the most chilling? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more mysteries from history's darkest corners.